It's just about that time of the week. Time for the Weekly Weebs Podcast. Grab your friends, family, waifus, and husbandos, and join your favorite weebs for an exciting show of anime talk. Hosts Crimson, Frenchie, Wigwiki, and Zario Machini will review and suggest shows, talk about news from the industry, and tackle some of the biggest arguments in the world of anime. It's the Weekly Weebs Podcast, starting now.
What is up, you loose bussy motherfuckers? This is the Weekly Weebs Podcast. And
You came in so strong.
we love you too. And we're here for another anime thingy, anime review, anime assignments and stuff. And I have a lot to catch up on. Two. I have two. And I'm going to start with those real quick before we get started. Paradox Live was Zario's assignment. I gave personal enjoyment a 6. I gave animation an 8, character development a 7, soundtrack a 10, world building a 7, plot a 6, voice performance an 8, art style an 8, uniqueness a 7, and recommendability a 7 for a total of 74.
Would you put as personal enjoyment?
6.
6?
So that brings the average for this one.
You didn't like it very much?
No.
Oh, all right.
I like the music a lot, but I felt like they had too much going on.
Doesn't change the average. It's still 76. Well, it's 75.75.
It didn't have a lot. I feel like it had too much going on. Too many characters they were trying to do stuff with, all in 12 episodes, I feel like.
That's fair.
I feel like some of the stuff just came out of nowhere in terms of what was happening with it in a little bit, but it wasn't like super bad. It was fine. But the plot twist, though, of that one guy that entire time conjuring his brother was wild.
Something we mentioned when we were talking about it is it tells us that in episode 1, like the very first time that the brother is on screen, and then his like friend that later on says that his buddy died or whatever, and he sees him and he's like freaking out. Like the very first time that both those characters are on screen, period, and it tells us that.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But it's a good show. My love story with Yamada-kun, person enjoyment I gave a 7. Animation I gave it 8. Character development I gave a 9. Soundtrack I gave an 8. World building I gave a 7. Plot I gave a 7. Voice and performance I gave a 7. Art style I gave a 6. Uniqueness I gave a 6. And recommendability I gave a 7 for a total of 72.
So that brings our average to a 64. So it went up a couple points.
Microphones don't taste good.
I can't imagine they would.
You want to see if my dick tastes good?
I don't think I can get my lips that close together.
Pass.
You saw Blue Period.
I thought that was this week's.
Pass. What are you
That
talking
was
about?
last week.
Pass.
Then what are we reviewing today?
Married, more than a married couple, but not lovers.
Which one's that?
The one I assigned last week that I put in the chat.
That wasn't My Love Story Yamada-kun?
No, that was last month.
Yeah, I know.
What's it called?
I know the Crimson High School romances really blend together. So.
What's it called?
More than a married couple, but not lovers.
Married.
Punishment!
We still have to think of one for Higgins, too, for Freerin.
Yeah.
True.
Oh, I know. It says I've watched it.
Okay. Do you remember it?
Okay, hold up. What was the other one?
Love
The
story
video
with
games.
My Love Story with Yamada-kun. So I have watched this one.
Okay.
My Love Story.
Did he give us his ratings for this week, then?
I don't know, man.
Yamada-kun was like they met in the video game, and then they met at an event together in real life.
Yeah.
She's drunk all the time.
Yeah. And
he's got
like
no emotion.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I have watched that one as well. I gave you the recommendations for this week's one.
Okay, you can do. You're gonna have to do erase for that. We'll get that later. You can figure that out.
So erase the love story with Yamada-kun rating that he just gave you. 'cause
That
that's
was-
not
that was for this one?
Yeah.
what it is for this one.
Okay.
So I do have proof. I have watched both shows.
You do have proof
I
that
was
you
really
have
like,
watched it.
man, he really likes Yamada-kun. Like
I also
the rest of us gave like low 60s.
Yeah.
So spoilers alert. You know mine for this week's.
Okay.
I have proof. I have watched both.
You do have proof.
I have proof. I was getting.
He's not hugging furries today.
I was
boy.
getting really scared that this next convention that was coming up, I was gonna have to
Animate
take
Des
a
Moines.
picture with every furry.
Wait, the score that you gave is this week's and was in like the 70s?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. I mean, I guess I don't know what the rest of you guys is, but I did not.
It's also mine's also in the 70s.
Man.
But
All right,
I'm
you're
also
gonna-
a
you're
I'm
gonna
a
be mad
sucker
at me
for
then.
I'm a sucker for like the rom-com kind of genre. I'm realizing.
You're a sucker for big tits.
I'm also a sucker for big tits. And I will say I did put all my ratings in for this show before I continued to read the manga because it left on such a cliffhanger at the end. I wanted to know what was going to happen.
Oh man, I don't give a shit what's gonna happen.
The manga, I will say, is significantly better than the anime by a long shot.
That doesn't matter to me.
Are you doing? You have yours that you missed?
No, I'll have to write those up some other time. I'm not gonna take up that time right now.
All right, hell yeah, that was mine. I had a mini scared tactic. I was
we still
super
need blue
nervous
period.
for a second. I thought, oh yeah, yeah. I do have that.
Okay.
Okay, blue period. Person development, I give that a 10. Animation, I give it a 9. Character development, I give it a 10. Soundtrack, I give it an 8. World building, I give it a 7. Plot, I give it a 9. Voice performance, I give it an 8. Art style, I give it a 10. Uniqueness, I give it a 10. And recommendability, I give it a 10 for a total of 91.
Respect.
That's crazy,
That is crazy.
but I'm happy about it.
I love this show with a passion.
Yeah, no,
It's
that,
so
that
good.
show's really good.
The whole story was the whole show was literally all about character development for the main character, and then it had splashes of character development for his main friends that he had, especially the one that presented as female.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good storyline, especially their conflict, which helps him develop as a person. I just love the concept of the show and how chill it was. The animation was great, especially when I liked it a lot when he was getting into his art. It helped those moments really good. Soundtrack was really good, especially the ambient soundtrack. Not so much a lot of world building. I really enjoyed the plot of him being like, okay, I'm getting into art late. I need to fucking work my hardest, and like this is like a do or die situation for him, and that was I think a really good plot element.
He does a great job, like for people that have no idea anything about art, explaining what he's doing
Yeah.
and helping you learn art.
And
the
then
new
I
techniques that he's learning. and
the
stuff.
art styles in the show is just really good, just because it has so many different things you get to see in terms not just the style of the characters and stuff, but the art you get to see.
The first episode hit me like a rock and made me want to cry. I talked about this last week in the episode, but I mentioned in there when the teacher quotes, "It's a shame to let something you're really good at be a hobby."
Mhm.
And Liz, we was watching it with Liz, and she was even like facts. And I really do think this show is super unique. You don't get a lot of shows like this at
Yeah,
all. They
agreed.
might have the same kind of concept in terms of just like hobbies, and like an art is not necessarily considered like it's like a extracurricular activity kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you don't get like stuff off of this like you do. Like music is, I consider music a sport
Spot.
and stuff like that. You know, it is a thing, and like I feel like you get shows from that. You get shows from basketball, football, baseball, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't really get a show specifically about art and how, I don't know. I just feel like this is just stupid unique, and I would recommend this to a lot of people just because of how chill it is and just how not the lessons you can learn from this and whatnot, and like just showing you that it's not too late to do stuff.
100%.
And that was my stuff blue period. Total of 91.
Which brings our average for that one to an 86.
Man, you guys must not like that.
It was solid. I mean, I gave it the lower score of 82. These guys tied at 85. You were the highest one on the list there, so
It was fucking good.
it was good.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little afraid you were gonna be bored with it, and it was gonna get a lower score. But I'm really happy.
No, I loved it.
I think that's my favorite thing I've assigned this year easily.
I
Nice.
actually really loved the painting he did when he was talking about bonds and how he just like can you tell that's a furnace,
Yep.
and just the satisfaction he got for when people like accepted his art
Mhm.
was just fucking awesome.
Yeah, when when we were talking about it, I mentioned that the Bonds one was my favorite too. Especially like, during the process of him painting it when the paintbrush becomes a
Mhm.
blowtorch.
Yep. Also, the painting he did in the second exam was also I fucking really like that a lot. When he was just you can see him when he had his like physical struggles that was going on with him, and then Liz was like, "Hey, I wonder like how crazy would it be that he just dies as soon as he gets accepted because it was actually like a hemorrhage in his brain or something."
Whoa, that would have been crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I
So like
would've been
he
so sad.
so like he did get accepted for his art and he made it, but because he was pushing himself too hard and ignoring his health, that he ended up passing.
When it was happening, I thought he was allergic to the paint.
That'd been wild.
Yep.
I was like, what if he's allergic to painting in general?
Mhm.
That'd be fucking wild. And but the concept of his art piece where he was talking about like nakedness and transparentness and was like the using the canvas in itself to help show that and going to the canvas and scraping away paint, I felt like that was the best decision he could have possibly made. And then the fact that his friend acknowledged it and finally like acknowledged that like yo, you're the shit. Like that was you're definitely doing good. I was like, damn, and then he cried. I was like, fuck. To being a delinquent, not knowing what to do in life, and then finding a purpose and a passion for something that he loves a lot. And also, there's the fact that he was going through it and losing his connection to painting midway through, and he was just doing it as like taking it as a test. Well, like it's a test, but like
Just going through the motions.
yeah, and
Yeah.
not actually. He lost connection for a minute of what truly like painting meant to him, and then finding that again
Mhm.
in the end, and just doing stuff that he enjoys and hoping that people will also enjoy it is a plus
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Really good, really good, really good. All right, cool. Now we're caught up. Don't have to hug furries. We are good.
Yeah.
All right, now we're gonna talk about My Love Story, Yamada-kun.
Nope.
No.
Wrongo.
All right, but Crimson.
Yeah. So I signed More Than a Married Couple, but Not Lovers. This one's been out for a while, and it's one that I saw pop up quite a bit on like my Twitter feed, and I also saw it kind of popping up on Instagram as it was coming out a lot. And it was one I always had kind of in my back pocket of ones that kind of piqued my interest without really having any idea of what it was about. And the concept of this show is interesting, not in a totally good way though. I like that we get to see the relationship kind of grow between the two main characters throughout the show. I feel like the setting though could have like the reason for why they have the matching like the matchups and the way they have the like the quote unquote romance
Mhm.
meter throughout the show is very weird.
I mean, a school project is about as realistic of a reason as you can possibly get.
Yeah,
for a
but like
scenario like
the
that.
fact that that's a school project is what I mean. It's just kind of odd.
The weird part is that they have to live together. That's the
Well,
fucking weird part.
That,
I mean, they're already living in their solo dorms.
yeah, like that's not too
is,
the
so-
living together part that doesn't throw me off. Like that, sure.
Honestly, I think there's a lot of people that could benefit from something like this.
Yeah. But with the fact of like
Maybe.
you gain points the more affectionate you are towards the other
Yeah,
person.
that's kind of fucked.
That's
Mhm.
yeah, that's a little weird. But it does set up for the love story that we're getting throughout the show between the two main characters, the kind of love square that we have between our two MCs, the best friend, the childhood best friend, and then the lesbian. Which is a very interesting square of interests throughout the show. I did catch up on the manga because again the show left on such a weird cliffhanger, and I was really wanting an answer. I was wanting to know what was going to happen.
What happened?
I read the manga. First off, the manga is way better than the show. I guess the thing is, I don't know how many spoilers you guys want me to go
I don't
into.
think any of us
don't
are going to give a single fuck about this show.
Okay. So, from where I'm at in the manga, the main guy turns down the childhood best friend after she confesses because he realizes that he actually has feelings for
His wife.
his wife, who ends up also confessing to him like later. Like they both kind of confess to each other at a light show, like a big fireworks show and everything together that was set up. But they both decide that they're going to continue living together like they have been, but they're going to wait and like officially start dating once he's done with his entrance exams for college, because he's been doing a lot of studying for those, and that's like in 2 months. But they, are still together. They still do like the couple thing when they're at home, but they aren't like declaring that they are dating yet. The story with the
They're doing all of the relationship stuff without the fun stuff.
kind of this backstory with that guy that like everybody looked up to, who was supposed to be like the coolest of the school. His backstory is interesting because he ends up, the chick that we see him like looking at in his flashback in the show, I don't know how much you guys remember that or
I
care.
straight up thought it was his mom.
Is actually his tutor for like his childhood private tutor for his classes, who ends up getting together with his older brother, which is what we see when he saw the hookup was with his older brother and her.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was him.
No,
I thought because he turned the pink-haired chick down. I thought it was because he was fucking around with the girl that was in that.
no, he still has feelings for her, even though she's with his brother and also pregnant with his brother's child. So, yes, sir.
I'm going to get going. So
Okay.
I'm just going to give a quick tidbit.
Yeah.
You already know my rating?
Yeah.
Show is way too horny.
Oh, 100%.
Very horny.
100%. Way too horny.
Took way too much of the show. Did not need that whatsoever. If it was not as horny, it would be so much better.
Yeah. I agree. I think, because again, the manga has some horny, but it is not in your face like the anime was. The anime was literally all up in your face with horny.
They literally ramped up the animation budget specifically for those 5-second scenes of fucking tits and pussy.
Yep.
Yeah. But
Not
the
worth it.
animation was solid.
Yep.
And it was the
The
color.
animation quality is they add a budget for sure.
Yeah.
But
yes.
I do gotta go.
Goodbye.
I love you guys.
I love
Yeah.
you.
But just remember the anime assignment is what you guys said earlier. I already forgot the name.
Glass of
Bartender,
God.
Glass of God or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, goodbye. But what was I saying?
Horny.
Horny. Oh, the animation definitely does the show a little bit of justice. Not necessarily because of like it being horny or anything, but like the animation.
The only justice it does is for the scorecard. Okay.
That's fair.
It doesn't actually improve the quality of the show.
Yeah. The colors are really vibrant with this show,
Yes.
though, and it was gorgeous.
It was the only good thing about the scenes where the pink-haired girl is hanging out with her friends.
Yeah.
Was there's a lot of pretty colors, and it's nice that there's one good thing, because when they're all together and speaking, it's just
They're a bunch of
awful.
gyarus.
It's fucking awful.
Yeah.
I hate them so much.
Yeah. This.
The show to me had like a couple of parts that had me. It had like some good jokes in it.
There,
Especially
there
like,
were some great fucking jokes in here.
I really like the fourth wall breaks that it does. But man, it's just not enough to save this show for me, cause like, all right, we'll make this quick joke to make you think that we're like an actually funny show, and then as soon as that joke's done, we're right back to the show that you're actually watching.
Yeah. There was a joke. I cannot remember what the joke was. And I'm so mad that I didn't write it down. But it got me so fucking good. Like, I had to pause the show because I was laughing so fucking hard.
The joke that stuck out to me the most was when the best friend had the anime title card for himself.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like hand painted and it's him like laying in the hallway.
Yeah.
And he announces like the next episode, and it's his name, whatever it is defeated.
Yeah.
And he tells himself, hey, I think that's the first time my full name has been said in this anime. And then somebody comes asking if he's that person, and he's still holding the title card for the next episode in his hand, and he puts it behind his back, and he says, no, I'm not that person. He goes, you're not? And so he grabs the episode title card and holds it up. He goes, nope, that's him. That, to me, is the best joke in the show.
The worst joke, and it just kept going, was when they were working in the restaurant and she was using the whipped cream.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Oh,
They-
maybe
they had,
get
like,
a little deeper.
I did that joke like 3 times in a row.
I know, but the first one
That
was
I
already bad.
I
Yeah.
felt super awkward watching that. And I was like, what?
Because that whipped cream scene, that's like the second time that episode that they make a joke where they're like, all right, now put it in.
Yep.
Oh, no, it's too fast.
I
It-
felt like
they
that
ju-
one was too. I felt like that joke was too much.
Yeah. It was too much the first time, and then they said, let's do that same joke 2 more times this episode.
It's bound to be funny eventually, right? Rules of 3, right?
Yeah.
No.
No,
I mean,
you're right, Frenchie. I do think that's the worst joke,
Yeah, I
especially
agree.
since they keep trying it.
I agree. Like I said, like the manga is much better than the show was, and it's at, I think it's on chapter 75 with it ending soon. So
I have a hard time reading manga that I like, so I'm definitely not gonna read this manga.
I'm only actively like reading like 4 manga right now. I'm reading Chainsaw Man. I'm reading Komi. I got back into My Dress Up Darling and got caught up on that again, and then this one. But
Are the people in Dress Up Darling a couple officially?
so
That's
the
a
last
no. As
No.
soon as he goes, so
Trash.
technically where it ended, they never specified if they are dating. They both confessed.
no.
They Gojo ended up confessing to Marin after like kind of an argument that they had, and then she got super excited because she finally confessed to him, and then just straight up just kissed him right after.
Okay, that's close
It's-
enough to a yes for me, I guess.
Yeah, it was really cute, and I saw the spoiler for it before I even got to that chapter because I was so behind for a while because I was just letting it build up for a bit, and I saw that on Twitter, and I'm like, hold on, I need to get back and reading this, and I caught back up to the manga, and I'm like, okay, this was satisfying. This was so satisfying. But yeah, I mean, like the show's fine. This show's fine. It's too horny. That's really my issue, and I figured this was going to be a Cremetta episode. Like I had a strong feeling after like I saw the first episode of it. I'm like, yeah, this is going to be a Cremetta episode.
Yeah.
But
Heck
I
yeah.
also was not a fan of the horniness. Like there were moments where there was some of the horniness that I was fine with because anime. There was times where it was too much, and I felt uncomfortable a lot with those too many times.
Well, I don't know. For me, here's the thing. The way that I kind of come at it typically is like sexual scenes and stuff like that, there's like a time and place for it to be used, and it to actually like be a part of a plot. In anime, I would say 9 out of 10 times it's not good for the plot. And this whole show is just that. And I can't think of a single time that the sexual stuff is actually used to enhance anything about the show.
Frenchie, thoughts?
I've told you my thoughts. I think the show is overly horny. I don't think it's a harem in a way, but it's kind of just the two girls, which is thankfully a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many different like will they won't they relationships inside the same show, inside the same friend group, and I hate it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's really all I got to say. Like the plot is fine. It's overall a fine show, but I don't know.
I don't even know if I'd call it fine. Like the things about it that are good are way too few and far between, and everything that is between is not good.
It's just a generic horny romance.
Yep.
And dear God, do I hate will they won't they shows. I'm so over them.
That's really
I
any
do
rom-com
fucking
at
too,
this
though.
point.
Stop assigning them.
Maybe.
Or assign one that is finished. Like Horimiya, they get together real early on. I'm real okay with that.
Yeah, that's sweet. There should be more shows that like there's plenty of shows that deal with the problems of working up the courage of getting into a relationship, blah blah blah. There doesn't seem to be enough shows where it talks about being in a
Relationship, yeah. I agree.
And then there's a show that talks about being in multiple relationships with 100 girls.
And somehow that show is also trash.
Maybe romance shows just shouldn't be anime. Or they should be adults.
Being adults would help, especially when it comes to the hypersexualization. Because, like, who's the target audience for this show?
I don't fucking know.
If you really have to think about
Horny
it.
middle-aged men.
I was just about to say horny people.
Right, but when you think about demographics, it's like, you know, somebody had to write this and they had somebody in mind to consume it. You know what I mean? And I feel like both of those are not correct, I guess. I don't know how to form the words I'm trying to say.
I get what you mean. Though. Yeah, I mean, I got nothing else really to say with this. Shall we get in the ratings?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. I'll start it off real quick. Personal enjoyment. I gave it a 7. I did enjoy the show. Oh my God, laptop almost fell. I did enjoy the show. Like, I thought it was fine. There was too much horniness, but I think, like I said, I gave this before. I put my ratings in before I read the manga, so I think a 7 still holds up, even pre or post manga reading. Animation, I gave a 9. The animation was solid. I think that they did a great job with it. The colors were super vibrant. It looked really gorgeous. I think those are probably, like, the animation and the art style are probably going to be the highest things for this. Character development, I gave a 7. We do see some development with each of the characters and how they're trying to do how they're trying to be better in the relationship. We see the love square that we have and the characters developing with how they're wanting to try and go about with, is this the right thing to do, or, you know, should I confess kind of thing. So we see them develop of how they're trying to become better people or try to confess. So there is development there. Soundtrack gave a 6. The intro and outro were fine. The music in the background fit, but there wasn't anything that stood out too much music-wise for me to really be like, yeah, this slaps. World Building gave a 6. It tells us at the beginning that they're doing a class thing, but that's it. There's not really world building other than it's modern Japan high school. That's it. Plot, I gave a 7. It's not a good plot. There is a plot, but it's not a good plot. It could have been done. It could have been told better, I think.
7 feels like a high number for you to say it's not good.
That's fair. I'll go 5.
I would just say.
I think the plot,
I would just
the
say
plot in the manga
is
is better than in the anime.
right on.
I'll say that. VA performance, I did give a 9. I thought the voice actors fit well with the roles that they were given and the characters that they were playing. Like the main Yaru chick, like her voice fit spot on. I think that our main homeboy, he had a fun voice that fit his character, and when he had those moments where like he was breaking the fourth wall or he was having like his inner monologue of like what the fuck, those are pretty funny and they fit his character well with the voice. So I think the voice acting was really well done on this. Art style, 10. Again, they did a really good job. I love the backgrounds in this show. Like the kind of not super detailed backgrounds that felt kind of like it was a painting. I thought that was really cool, and I really liked that a lot because then it gave more focus to the characters and like the things that were supposed to be seen. Sometimes it was the tits, other times it was the characters. Uniqueness.
All the time it was the characters' tits.
Yeah, exactly. Uniqueness, 6. No, 5. It's a horny rom-com. It's nothing really unique. The only thing unique about it is like how they got there. So that's not really saying much. Recommendation, I gave a 6. I personally would rather somebody read the manga than watch the show. But if you're trying to speed run the manga so then you can get more caught, since it is only 75 chapters right now, if you're trying to get a good chunk of it knocked out before reading it, give it a watch. If somebody asks me about it, I'll tell them to watch it, but I'm not going to really go out of my way to say, hey, you should watch this. So total for me is 70.
Nice.
That feels too high.
Still lower than
is.
Wiki's.
Yeah, I'm very far away from both of you, just so you know.
I'm a pretty decent amount too.
All right, whoever's next.
Go ahead, Frenchie.
Personal enjoyment, I gave a 5. Boy, this show was sure there. Animation, I gave the animation a 5 or a 6. I didn't think the animation itself, like the way things move and interact, was anything special. The art style and the character development, or the art style and the character design is pretty good. I gave that an 8. Character development, I gave a 6. Again, it sure is there occasionally. World building, I gave a 6. At least we got updates on where they were in the class rankings. Soundtrack, I gave a 5. I did not like the open. Close was fine. I couldn't tell you anything about the music inside. I don't remember anything about it. 5, I gave a plot. There is one.
Hold on. Did you say 5? I gave a plot.
Yeah, you sure did. You sure did.
It sure is there. VA performance, I gave a 6. They talked. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
Man, you really didn't like this show. I'm realizing.
It's just very mid.
That's fair.
Like, there was just nothing special about it. Like, I was bored watching it. And I'm really getting tired of shows sexualizing 16-year-olds.
Yep.
Yeah.
At least these ones were, like, high school seniors. So, like,
Were they?
maybe they were 18. Yeah, they were third years because they were getting ready for graduation.
Oh.
Because that's why I was talking about with the entrance exams in the manga, because
Gotcha.
time hasn't passed too
Yeah,
much.
a lot of these high school shows do mixed grades, so I never really know.
Oh.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
these are third
Unless
years.
I'm like really paying attention.
Art style, I gave an 8. Uniqueness, a 5. It's got some things that are different, but yeah, it's a high school rom-com. And recommendability, I gave a 3. I'm not telling anyone to watch this. If someone asks and I know they're horny, sure. Total is a 55.
Oof.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's still higher than yours.
It is higher than mine. All right. So for me, personal enjoyment is 3. I I was able to name one joke that I liked about this show. The rest of the show, I didn't really like. Animation, I gave an 8. It's clearly where the budget went. Character development, I gave a 6. The characters do develop throughout the show a bit. Soundtrack, I gave a 5. It's fitting. It's not like spectacular, but it's fine. World building, I gave a 4. It's pretty bare bones. It is simply what we need for the sake of the plot and nothing more. And speaking of plot, I gave that a 3 because there is a plot, but I don't feel like it's really told very well. Maybe if they spent more time on their plot instead of on horniness, it would be a higher score. But voice acting, I give a 6. I felt like everybody was pretty fitting, including the voices that I hate, which is the pink-haired chick and all of her friends. And every time I want to hit them with baseball bats because they're speaking, but that was probably intentional. So good on them. Art style, I give an 8. Uniqueness, I gave a 3. We've seen a lot of horny high school rom-coms just on this podcast alone. And recommendability, I gave a 1. I'm not telling people to watch this show. And if somebody asks me if they should watch it, I'm going to tell them no.
Tell them read the manga.
I'm not even going to tell them that. I'm just going to be like, no, it's not good.
Forbidden.
I don't forbid it. You can watch it. If you want to watch Boku no Pico, you can. If you want my opinion, I'll tell you probably don't. But I haven't seen it, so it's just an offhand opinion. But I have seen this, and I can tell you, don't watch it. I'm not going to recommend it.
So,
it does not get the Zerio stamp of approval. Total is 48.
Oof. So that brings our average still to a 61.
Yeah, because you and Wiki apparently really liked this show.
I thought it was, again, I thought the show was fine. A lot of it was held up with the animation and the art style. I did like the voice acting in it, but I do think that the manga is significantly better than the show. So, all right. Well, thank you all for stopping by the Weekly Weaves podcast. A reminder that the assignment was Bartender, Glass of the Gods. And as Wiki is not here, we will see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Weekly Weaves podcast.
We'll be back next week with more exciting anime talk.
Make sure to join us every show to stay up to date with what's going on in the world of anime. We'll catch you next time.